Ta-da! And just like that, it's Wednesday afternoon. It's just gone midday, and welcome to the Midday Show. Hello, I'm Neil Long. How are you? Really good to have you along today. I'm surrounded by wonderful women today in my working life. I get to work with a lot of fabulous women, and women friends, women colleagues, and a very female-heavy midday show today. So I'm surrounded by the ladies. First of all, we invited her back because we liked her so much the first time. My guest presenter, Kira Lawrence. Hello there. How are you?
Hi, Neil. I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's good to have you back. We had you on the midday show earlier in the month, talking about basically what you do. So just for the benefit of those watching, or hi to those watching the replay as well, just give us a little update on you and how we sort of met and all that sort of stuff, and what brings you here.
Okay, so basically, we met through social media. You very kindly invited me onto the show, and then you asked me back, so I'm here. So thank you very much for having me back.
Well, you did so well the first time.
Thank you. So for those of you out in the land who don't know who I am, that sounds really sordid. Anyway, I'm not only am I a learning disability campaigner, I work for the amazing learning disability charity MenCap, so I've got to plug them. And then also I'm a podcaster, I'm a social media addict. Yes, that's me.
So, and you did your first live podcast in Epsom at the Metropolis Centre, didn't you?
Yeah, last Thursday. Yeah.
How was it? How did it go? Come on, tell us.
Okay. So it went really, really well, thank you. The performers did amazing. All the clips are on my social media. We raised £140 for charity, for Anna's autism charity. We raised £140. So I'm really proud. It was a great night. We got about 45 people in, so that was great. So yeah, I'm buzzing off the back of it. So now,
and I tell you what, Kira, putting on an event like that, because I put on live events as well, and I don't think people appreciate the work that goes into it. All they see is the finished product, and if it's really smooth, if you're a professional, which you are, you'll make it look easy. But there's an awful lot to it, so I have to say that.
Thank you. It's great.
You're welcome. I've popped on the screen if anyone wants to listen to your podcast, because it's still well and truly in the podcast sphere. tinyurl.com/Kira. That's sort of CIARA podcast. And that's twice I've got your name right now. I didn't call you Kiara.
That's good, thank you. And actually, it's funny because last night I went into London and I went to go and see the musical Oliver at the Guildford Theatre, and there was another girl sitting behind me, and guess what her name was?
Kira?
Yes. I met another Kira last night at the theatre.
There you go.
I was like, this is really nice. This is meant to be.
It's all happening.
It was lovely. So, I heard her mum call her, and she went, Kira, and I turned round, I went, yeah. And I then realised there was a girl behind me called Kira, and I was like, oh, not me.
Anyway. A potentially embarrassing situation, but I'm sure you styled it out very well.
Yes.
Let's get our guest on. This is a lady that I met in lockdown. Her name is Claire Francis. She's a lovely lady. We became friends through lockdown, and we have a professional connection as well. And we're going to bring her on today to talk about that and talk about everything she's been up to. So we welcome the lovely Claire Francis. Hello, how are you? We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Claire. I think you might be muted. Do you want to unmute yourself, my lovely? I'll let you do that. Me and Kira can fill for a bit.
Yeah, just hands.
Yeah, we do a little routine.
Oh.
How are we doing? Have we got you yet, Claire?
No.
No, that's strange. Claire, do you want to come out? Can you hear me? Stick your thumbs up if you can. You can, great. Yeah. Come out, do a cheeky little reboot, and we'll see you in a minute. Me and Kira will talk for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So she's coming up.
Yay! We'll fill.
We're Phil. I'll just make a quick banner for Claire. Let's say good afternoon to who's listening. Robert Van Buren, one of our regular and loyal listeners. So what's next for you, Kira? Because I know you're very big in the disability campaigner space, and I don't think you're going to give up at one podcast. In fact, I see a very bright future doing many things. What's next for you?
So I'm hoping that next year the venue will have me back, because they gave me some lovely feedback afterwards and they said they'd love to do more of those. So hopefully they'll have me back next year, maybe with someone else. So they've said they really loved it. The venue staff loved me. And the venue staff said they really loved the show and how we set it up. And they said we'd love to do more. So hopefully they'll have me back with someone else next year. So that's really exciting.
When you say with someone else, you mean a guest of yours?
Another guest, another co-presenter, another guest, another interview guest. Like, I need to find someone now. So, yeah, if anyone...
Because you had a really good guest last time, didn't you?
Anna Kennedy, my lovely, lovely friend, Anna Kennedy. She was amazing. I absolutely adore her. She's one of my allies in the disability world. And yeah, to do it with her first was amazing. She knew me, I knew her, so it worked really well for me.
I think you are actually the reason why I keep coming back to you, and I like to get you on co-presenting and stuff like that. Number one, because you're fairly good at it. Number two, because I think you're an absolute shining light for people with disabilities, people that might think, oh, I'm just going to be thrown to the sidelines by the world. I'm not normal. There's no place for me to fit. And you've absolutely proved that wrong. And you've really forged your own path. And even better, left a trail, a trail of light, trail of breadcrumbs, however you want to put it, for people wanting to follow in your footsteps and show that now there is more awareness and there is more opportunity. Yeah. And just because you're not neurotypical, if I can use that word, is that okay to use? Then it doesn't really matter so much now, because things are changing and opportunities are becoming available. I mean, you've got a fantastic job, haven't you?
Yeah, I work at MenCap, which is the UK's leading learning disability charity. Go and look them up. They're an amazing charity. They support the lives of people like me to achieve, and I love being there. I've been there 24 years now, nearly 25. So hopefully I'll get something to mark that this year.
Well, you better.
Apparently our CEO sends something to people when they reach that. So yeah, I'll be looking at something from our CEO soon.
And it better not be a box of matchmakers, or there'll be trouble.
But do you know what? I'll tell you a quick story. When I was 10 years old and I was diagnosed as having a learning disability, my family were told I'll never achieve anything. My family were told I will never do anything. I will never achieve anything. I'll never be anybody. And I have proved all those professionals wrong. I've got a job. I'm married. I have a house of my own. Yeah. I have a career. I have a #1 charting podcast and a non-profit podcast chart.
I think Paul McKenna put this beautifully in his book, because he was told look what Paul McKenna's achieved, and he was told by his teachers he wouldn't amount to much. In fact, it was quite a common thing said in classrooms. If you didn't fit that very narrow idea of what those teachers of the day thought you should be doing, it's just a complete rejection. Oh, you won't amount to much. My mum was ambidextrous, and the teacher would force her to write with her right hand. She could write with either, but the teacher used to wrap her over the knuckles on the left hand with a ruler if she wrote with it. And to say things to anyone, particularly children with learning difficulties, that's disgusting. I mean, you really shouldn't be doing that. But you're perfect proof that other people's opinions don't have to become your destiny, and really that's in your own hands, in our own hands. Certainly not the hands of other people's opinions, because everyone's full of them, aren't they?
Recently I got discriminated against by someone, and it really broke my heart. And I was like, right, I've now got a point to prove again, and I'm really trying to prove that I have talent. Someone told me I don't have talent. I do have talent, and I'm going to prove them bloody wrong. Sorry.
You can swear, by the way. We're not governed by Ofcom, so
okay.
If you want to swear, that's perfectly okay. And
I'm going to prove them wrong.
Yes, you can shitting well prove them wrong. We can swear on the show. It doesn't matter. Okay. But I wouldn't swear in front of ladies. Well, I probably would, actually. Claire Francis, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Loud, proud and clear. How are you, lovely
amazing
lady?
I'm okay, thank you. I don't know why it wasn't working on my computer, because I don't know. I could hear the microphone working. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've come on my phone now.
Here.
So,
You're
but
here.
yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm really good. How are you both? I've just been listening to some of your convo.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just really good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow finishing work and having a week off, and I feel like I'm ready for it. Really, I haven't had any time off since Christmas, as
have you got any
such.
plans for Easter?
I'm just going to chill out, really, to be honest with you. Just spend some time at home, eat some nice foods, probably go for walks. The girls will come over.
Yeah, how are your girls? Are they good?
Yeah, they're brilliant, thank you. Really, really good, and both really busy in what they're doing. And yeah, they're doing what they do, and I'm doing what I do, I guess. So yeah, how are you, Neil?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. I'm emceeing a comedy night tonight in Bushy. Got my own comedy night tomorrow. If anyone wants to come, listening to this, or either of you two, yeah, you'd be very welcome. And then Friday, I'm gonna head away for a couple of days, I think, and chill out a little bit. So quite looking forward to that. But enough about me and my crazy life. What brings you back to the Midday Show, Claire Francis? Because we had you on before and you asked if you could come on again, and you're always welcome. What brings you back today?
Well, I cheekily asked you, didn't I? Could I come back and see you? Well, just to really kind of go over some of the work that I've been doing, I think, really, Neil, just the importance of it. And I work as you know, a lot in cancer, and just kind of going over some of the stuff, and just we've got wellness afternoon coming up. I'm arranging with a couple of other ladies, and just bits and pieces like that, really, just to kind of touch base.
Well, the forum is yours. Please tell us what you've been up to.
So what have I been up to? So since I've spoken to you last, I've been busy. So I counsel people with cancer, and various different other areas of life as well. But the cancer is really I reckon cancer is probably 50% of my work now. Might be just tipping over a bit more now. It's taken years to build up. And I work from anything from diagnosis through to the end of life, which is a very big scale.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because cancer is a very big word. I mean, it can be. I mean, everyone's terrified of that word, but it can be relatively minor. It can be something that can be dealt with in day surgery. I knew someone that had that, and they were fine. Or, of course, it can be a lot more serious and much more difficult. So, how do you? I mean. I suppose the care you give them would be different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I give
on where
them.
They're at.
Yeah, I give them emotional support. So, is that is because the thing is quite rightly, there's different stages of cancer, but somebody hearing that word and that diagnosis is huge. It's almost like an echo, That's how they describe it to me. It's like an echo. It's like it's an out of body experience. They're trying to understand what's going on, and then you've got somebody talking to them and telling them, what their treatments are going to be, etc. So they're processing an awful lot in that time, in that half an hour or however long that they've got their appointments. So they come to me at all different stages. So sometimes I have people that have just been literally diagnosed a couple of weeks ago, and they get a diagnosis, and if we use breast cancer, for example, and then they've got to have chemotherapy, then all of a sudden they're freezing their eggs, and it's got to be done really quickly because the chemo is going to be next week. So it's all a whirlwind, it's all craziness. And then I might get ladies or guys as well that kind of go through. I haven't been through with a guy with a mastectomy, but I have been with guys that have cancer, various different cancers, and so surgeries as well we go through, because surgery is massive. For some people it's like just get rid of the cancer, etc. And other people it's their identity, it's their it's part of, I think we forget that as women, we start to develop at like ages 10, 11, and our body change, we see that body change quite early. So some women are more attached to their boobs than they kind of realize, really, and then they've got to go through, because it's amputation, really, when you think about it, and then or they could have gone through that whole whirlwind of diagnosis, surgeries, chemotherapies, radiotherapies, etc., and then the noise goes quiet because there's no more appointments. And but because the noise goes quiet, but there are still appointments, I think a lot of people think because they go back to work, or that the chemo has finished, or whatever, oh right, you're back, you're okay. But the journey of cancer just never stops. You have that fear, is it going to return? You've got that fear of what next, or something happens and then they're back in appointments. Some of them have to have hormone treatments every month. So the journey doesn't really end.
Can I ask you something here?
Yeah.
And this is only a theory of mine.
Yeah.
And so please feel free to shoot this down.
Yeah.
Once someone, is it sometimes a wake-up call? I think that's what I'm saying, that maybe they realise they've been living a very unhealthy life, maybe lots of very unhealthy thinking, lots of stress, whether it's their fault or not, and they suddenly realise, hang on a minute, my thoughts and my lifestyle may have had something to do with, perhaps lowering my resistance to cancer or something like that. And then is there counselling as a corollary of that? Is there counselling to help people live more mentally and physically healthy lives so it doesn't create the atmosphere for cancer to return?
Yeah, there's so much stuff out there, and I've had clients who don't want to have treatment. They want quantity over, is it quantity over, no, quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity,
yeah. And or they'll find a natural way to try and treat the cancer, and whether it works or not, I don't know what the statistics are at all. That's not really my area, but
you do hear these stories of people.
Yeah.
We hear.
Yeah.
Go on, Kira.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Claire, your work is so vital. Sadly, I lost someone dear to me at the age of 46 to cancer, and 46 is no age at all. I lost one of my relatives to cancer. She was only 46. And now, because of that, I'm now an ambassador for an amazing charity called Grace Women. They're based in Surrey, and they support women who have cancer, who are going through cancer treatment. And I know how vital that work is. So I just wanted to say, brilliant, and your work is so vital, so keep going.
Oh, thank you so much. And I think that going back to kind of like, I'm sorry to hear about your experience. Cancer takes people, it doesn't care about your age or who you are, sadly. And so it affects everybody, and there's a ripple effect as well, like your family and your friends, etc. I also do work with families that partners are going through cancer treatments, and sadly, their end of life is, their partner's end of life as well. So I go through that with clients, which is heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking to watch somebody go through that pain on both sides of it. But I think with regards to treatments and stuff, yes, stress can probably cause it. Yes, they say trauma causes it, but they don't really know is the answer where it comes from. We just know that it's a cell that doesn't attack, that attaches itself somewhere, and it grows the tumor. So
it's almost
where it comes from.
I mean, I read some Deepak Chopra, who's very sort of mind-body.
Oh yeah,
He asks. He doesn't have the solution exactly, but he asks a very poignant or pointed, a very sharp question. He says, the body constantly regenerates itself. I mean, we're literally not the same person as we were 1 minute ago. And in 7 years, I think it's 7 years, I could be wrong, but every single cell is different. So why is it regenerating that? And he calls it phantom memory. because most of the body, most of the time, for most of us, is in a reasonable state of well-being, isn't it? You could say health is our natural default state. So he poses the question, what's gone wrong? I don't expect us to get an answer with that, but I'm sure lifestyle does have something. Well, there's probably many factors. There's probably chemicals in the atmosphere, probably loads of different things, isn't there?
Well, there's loads of different things now, isn't there? And, you know, so many. I mean, the girls getting breast cancer are getting younger and younger and younger. And I think, I think I've met somebody who's 19.
Just need to turn my computer on. Just need to flip a switch. Stay there. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So it's 19, and you know, you think 19 and you're getting breast cancer, and there is somebody younger than that going through puberty, and it's so you know, it's, you know, there are pesticides, you know, chemicals in water. We use water every day, you know, pesticides in food, sprays on fields. I don't know, petrol. I don't, you know, there's something going on because the numbers are going up, they're not going down.
And people are, and younger as well.
Yes, and younger.
So what is going on? Is it a lot of sort of a? I mean, I heard that rates of cancer shot up after the Industrial Revolution. Is that right?
And Jake Goody, after Jake Goody, numbers went up for checking as well. After Jake Goody died, everybody went for checking because of her story.
Yeah, raising awareness and stuff, and and stuff like that. So my Instagram page is Counselling with Cancer, and it there's lots of information on there. I've got a really great girl who does my social media, and she does. I kind of give her ideas, or say I've just had this conversation or whatever, and she makes them into posts, and so it's quite educational. Some of it is self-care, and some of it is, you know, quite educational, and what to say to somebody, what not to say to somebody, how to, you know, a big thing I think is, you know, how to treat somebody with cancer. You know, your friend, you know, that certain things, and you know, they're at home and they're struggling with their chemotherapy, and you know, things like that. You know, take them a cake, or just drop a dinner at the door, or you know, a packed lunch or something. Say, I'm just passing. You know, those kind of things go much further than a quick text when you're running to a meeting. I just thought I'd see how you are, because it's your tick, not their tick. You know, and then you don't hear from them again all day because they're in a meeting. So you just feel like could be left a bit hanging. So there's you know, there's certain things and certain ways, you know, things. So it's all those kind of things that I work with as well. So like well-being and wellness.
It's a big old field, isn't it? What made you want to get into this? What made you want to get into this in the first place, Claire?
Well, I fell into it because after I'd finished my training, I was working full time and for a leading pharmaceutical company, and I finished my studying, but I didn't know what work I wanted to do, and I was happy at work and etc. Anyway, a position came up at Macmillan at East Surrey Hospital in Red Hill, and I applied for it, and I got the position. They don't normally. My supervisor said to me, I don't normally take on people that have just come out of training. She said, but you know, there's something about you, and there's something that you've got that we'd really welcome here. You know, so she took me on, and on the grounds that I did my accreditation, and I said to her, but I don't want to do any more studying, and she went, yeah, but you're doing the hours, so you may as well. So anyway, so I did my accreditation, you know, with the hours I got with Macmillan, and I was there volunteering as a counsellor for about 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years. And then I started to get busy, and so I left my corporate world, and I started up on my own. And I just and so it has taken years to build that, because it's quite niche. So it's kind of getting it out there, really, which is another reason I kind of tap into Neil sometimes.
Great.
And say, you know, come on, help me. And you know, and so it's just getting the word out there, really, to be able to help people.
Yeah. Well, Claire, I'm happy to refer you to Grace Women. I'll tell our CEO about you and I'll link you up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. And did I hear you do podcasts?
Yes, I have a podcast. It's called the Pink Sparkle Podcast. I've actually done episodes around cancer awareness because the charity that I'm linked to anyway. But yeah, Pink Sparkle Podcast on Spotify. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a look for you and I'll find you.
Thank you.
If you do want to do another podcast on cancer, let me know.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. And I'll also tell our CEO at Grace Women. They're based in Surrey, actually. They're in, I think they're Red Hill Way or Reigate, somewhere around there. Our CEO is lovely. So they're called Grace Women. Look them up. They're a cancer awareness charity for women.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them. So yeah, I will do, definitely.
I'm an ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always up for a bit of networking on the show?
Yes.
Yeah, I love networking. It's like, I think part of my when people say to me, you know, what is it you want to achieve, and I'm just like, I just want to meet as many people as I can on this planet before I go. You know, yeah, I've met you now, exactly, and and I also get work referrals as well from like lots of leading charities, like Black Women Rising and the Pink Foundation and Future Dreams and Cancer Care Map, and so I'm on all their lists as well. So if anybody goes through and they need a counsellor and they see me, if they want to, then they contact me.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of places.
Wow, you must be kept very busy.
Yeah, it is. It's really busy, and I met a really lovely lady. I was in the Premier magazine, Women to Watch 2026, and I met this really lovely lady, and she said to me, I've got a really lovely space that we could use and I'd really like to do something. So we're going to put on a wellness cancer experience for about 10 to 12 people who is connected with cancer, because we want to give something back. And we're going to have, so she does yoga, so we'll do a very gentle kind of yoga, breathing techniques. So they've got something to go away with, very gentle exercises. Another friend of mine does gong sound healing, so she's going to come, and then somebody else that I know is a Reiki master, so she'll come and do Reiki. So, and we've got like protein balls and smoothies and those kind of things, and she's got a swimming pool, so that's a nice to have if they want to afterwards. So we're in the mix of just kind of setting that up, and you just don't know where these things are going to lead, you know, really, do you? Yeah.
Do you know when that's going to be, Ish?
We think we're just deciding on a date, whether it's going to be, it'll either be the beginning of July or it's going to be the mid-September. So we've just got to decide on that date.
All right, let us know, and I'll advertise it on Radio Jackie, and also and also on here. We'll pop you on for 10 minutes, a couple of days before launch day, and give it a plug. Just come and give it a plug. We get you back. So you say 50% of your work is this. What's the other 50%?
Oh, the other 50% is life, and which is all life, isn't it? And so the other 50% is really kind of, you know, kind of like bereavement or relationships. I'm getting a lot of relationships at the moment, and you know, how people coping, and you know, various different things around that, and finances, redundancies, sadly, is a thing that's happening at the moment.
So you're counselling on all these things.
Yeah. So it's kind of person-centered. Yeah, so it's person-centered counselling. So it's very kind of like Carl Rogers. Well, I'm integrative now, but I use my base is person-centered. Your thoughts, feelings, explore, navigate your way, come to your own realizations, your own decisions. But I do use a bit of CBT as well. If you know, people are overthinking things and they can't seem to stop that hamster wheel going round and round and round, and looking at what the thought is, what the fact is, or you know, what is you know, what we can do, what we can do about it. So there's a bit of CBT
Well, it's
in there
very
as
easy
well.
for our minds to go into these repetitive loops, and I don't think
Yeah.
whenever mine's been in one, which it has several times, I've never found an answer when I'm in that repetitive loop ever, not once.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't know where the answer comes from when it does, but it ain't there.
Yeah. I definitely have that. So I live with a learning disability. So sometimes for me, because of my disability, because of my learning disability, the way that my brain develops is I have to repeat information quite a lot to understand. So I'm always finding I have to repeat myself again and again and again and gone, have I heard that right? Is that right? Is that okay? Is that all right? And like I'm always living in this thing of whenever anything happens, I repeat it to people a lot because have I got the wrong end of the stick? Have I misunderstood? Like, have I listened? Have I understood that? So I live in that life now. Like, that's the way my brain develops because of my learning disability. Like, it's like I always have to check that I understood? Have I misunderstood? Have I got that wrong? Have I got that right? And unfortunately, that's part of my learning disability. And I was diagnosed at the age of 10 and now I'm 46 and I've kind of grown up with it, but I'm still, anytime anybody has a conversation with me, I have to kind of go, did I get that right? Have I understood? Have I misunderstood? And I live in that life still as part of my disability. Yeah.
It's very hard, isn't it? It must be really hard when you kind of like it almost sounds like you're kind of like questioning yourself all the time, constantly questioning to know that you've done something.
Yeah, I was told when I was 10 years old that I would never achieve anything. So anytime now I'm in my job or I'm doing my podcast, I'm always saying to everybody, is that right? Was that okay? Have I understood? Have I misunderstood? And I feel like I'm always having to prove myself. I'm always having to ask those questions. And I can't wait for the day that I don't have to do that anymore. Like I'm hoping there'll be a bright light one day and I'll go, oh, no, it's okay. I don't have to say that anymore.
On Monday's Midday Show, Russ and I were talking to a fellow celebrant of his, and they're talking about imposter syndrome, which I think is what you're talking about, isn't it? To a certain degree, we all, I suppose, we all get that voice going, "No, you can't do that. You're not good enough." But good enough for who?
I was about to ask. Yeah,
and by whose standards exactly?
Yeah.
And surely it's having the curiosity to try. I mean, you're not attempting something dangerous like brain surgery, presumably.
Yeah.
What's the worst? What's the worst that can happen? It is just feedback, isn't it?
Yeah.
And ask yourself. It's really, it's like Neil says. Ask yourself. There's self-doubt there, isn't there? So it's like ask yourself that: who am I self-doubting? Do I doubt myself? Who am I trying to prove myself to? Because whoever that person was all those years ago, they're not here now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at that with perhaps an adult mindset, because if we'd had the adult mindset of when we were given these messages at 10, we could have looked at it and gone, wait a minute.
Yeah, I do a lot of inner child work. I love inner child work. And
tell us a bit about that. It's interesting stuff, inner child work. I think some people would roll their eyes and go, "Oh, that's so touchy-feely new age," but it can be quite powerful, can't it?
It's really powerful, and it's kind of quite psychodynamic, and it's really, really powerful. So it's reparenting that inner child. So for you, Kiara, isn't it?
Kira, yes,
Kira, not Kiara, Kira. Okay, and the reparenting that inner child, that 10-year-old, is for you as your adult self, is to look at your 10-year-old self, and what would you want to say to your 10-year-old self if she came to you with that information now, saying somebody said I'm never going to make anything of myself? What would your response be to her?
Ha 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 ha! Put my fingers up.
And encourage her to do the same.
Yes, and encourage her to do the same. Exactly. And that is what reparenting the inner, on a gentle, in a quick way.
I've seen inner child work done. I used to attend, his name's Nick Breau, Breau, and he does these brilliant sort of law of attraction-y type calls. And he does a lot of healing stuff on there as well. And literally, you see the processes he does with people, and suddenly you see 10 years come off someone right on the screen in front of you, and it's like, bloody hell, you've been carrying that for a lifetime. But it also shows that with the right probing questions and the right looking at it from an adult's point of view, when you have the mental capacity to do it, we do have the mental capacity with a bit of help to heal this stuff. And literally, Claire and Kira, you see 10 years come off someone, and it's quite incredible. And I saw this lovely one he did once. Is you talking about sticking your fingers up? It basically, it was going back, helping the inner child feel safe. Because whether we like to brush it aside or not, if we're feeling it, it's still a part of us. And any healing comes with accepting these parts of us, whether we're embarrassed about them or not. You know, you've kind of just got to accept it. It's called the acceptance paradox in psychology. I think you have to accept it to be able to change it. If you don't change it, you're essentially neglecting a bit of yourself. And you know what happens when children are neglected? They kick up and try and get attention. And then when that comes out in an adult, that's not always very well received. So better to address it.
I might have to come and have a session. I might have to come and get rid of my inner child. Like, I might have to come and have a session and get rid.
I'll show you a great trick that really worked for Russ in a minute, Kira. Just to finish up what I was saying. And he did this brilliant thing, and he went back and they embraced the inner child and all that sort of thing. And what would you say to the child as an adult? And it was all lovely. And give the child a hug and integrate it into yourself, in your heart. And then he got the child to go up to the person that said it and give them the finger. Tell them, and I said we can't swear on here, tell them to fuck right off. And that was actually part of their healing process. It was absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. I might have to come for a session and just get rid of all
well, she just I mean, she doesn't go, but she doesn't go, obviously she heals. So you help heal her, like Neil says, you know, you help her feel safe, and you know what is it she wants to say to them, or you know, or it might be she wants a hug from you. She wants her
or him entirely. Because if you do, you would lose your childlikeness, and you would lose spontaneity, and you would lose the ability to see things through fresh eyes. You'd lose the experience of being excited about things, like that wonderful just coming into consciousness and realizing I'm not in my bed. Wait a minute, I'm on holiday. Oh, exciting! Those kind of or it's Christmas. Those sorts of feelings, and they're lovely, and we never want to lose those. But it's just the part that doesn't feel safe that wants to be held and integrated. We're not trying to get rid of anything. We're embracing it. We're embracing it, and we're I won't say transcending. Embracing it. We're making it a welcome part of us rather than something we try and push away, which doesn't really work, does it?
I mean, I've had adults buy like Barbies and chess sets and all sorts of things, you know, where for that inner child, it's like, you know, what is it they missed out on? What is it that you know that they wanted? Because some people come from very, you know, sad families, if you want for a better word. And one of my clients bought a Barbie doll, and I said, so what is it like? And she showed me it, because there's so many Barbie dolls, isn't there? And it was the Barbie, and she was in a canoe. And she sat on her office desk, and when we were in this session, she's like looking at this Barbie, and you know, pulling faces at this Barbie, and it was just like she was a completely different person from having this buying this Barbie. So it all depends what's gone on, what's happened, and what the treatment is.
And whatever we need to heal, it doesn't matter if it's a Barbie doll. It doesn't matter if it's listening to affirmational audios. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the fairies at the bottom of the garden. If it works for you, and if it puts you, to use the psychology talk, in the inner state that you want to be in, the receptive state, the healing state, the parasympathetic state, it doesn't matter. It could be petting your dog. It really doesn't matter. But it's all about grounding and safety, and safety in your own body and mind, and that is how the world will heal, one by one, of people doing that. It's not going to be some sort of zap from the heavens and suddenly boom, it's the new age. No, it's one by one, isn't it?
I've got this book. It's absolutely beautiful, because I wanted to do it myself. And it's called the Magical Inner Child. And it's really, really lovely. And it's 365 creative drawings and writing prompts. And so some of the things...
Do you want to share a couple while you're here?
Yeah, I will do. So recall a time your magical inner child noticed something beautiful and write about it.
Okay, I'm going to scribble mine.
I can remember being on holiday. I wasn't a child, but it was a childlike sense of awe. And I was sitting at a bar, predictably, and but I was looking out over this most beautiful sea. It was in Greece, I think, and it was just the most beautiful, beautiful place. And I felt completely at one, at peace, and just happy. And I could feel a big kind of glow there in that part of my body. And that was absolutely lovely. And also that another benefit of the thinking of the inner child is it's very innocent as well. Very, very innocent. And if you can keep that innocence without its downside gullibility, perfect.
Yeah.
What have you done, Kira? Let's see. Hold it up to the camera.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know whether you can see. I don't know whether you can see that or not.
I can't see it. But...
It's at Epsom.
Yeah, my first theatre show at Epsom Playhouse. So I did my first theatre show when I was 9 years old at Epsom Playhouse, and I just remember falling in love with theatre, and I still love theatre to this day. Yeah. And every time I go and see a show or I'm in a show, I always get that pang of, I love this. This is what I want to do. I love being in this. And you're in a community that feel the same. And so, yeah, for me, it's my first ever memory of being in a theatre show. That has always stayed with me. Like that makes me feel beautiful.
I can understand that. Because I've done a bit of am-dram, and I do stand-up, as you know, stand-up comedy, and I do radio every day. So I do love to perform, and that buzz when it goes well. When you get in that flow state, there is nothing like it. It's just, beyond words. It's lovely. Give us another one, Claire.
Another one. Okay.
Actually, what's yours?
Oh God, do you know, I knew you were going to ask me that, and I hadn't planned for one. But I guess if I was to think about something really beautiful as a child, is we used to go to every year we used to go to this house on the Isle of Wight in Seaview, and it was right on the beach. And we used to go there for our 2-week summer holiday every year. And we used to love it because the sea would go out and you could go crabbing and, rock pooling and, and then there was this big, huge rock, and you'd sit on the rock and you'd wait for the tide to come in. And of course you'd try and beat the tide kind of thing. And then I remember going back as an adult and seeing the rock, and the rock was tiny. So I don't know whether the seas corroded it or whether it was really big at that, because it seemed huge at the time.
What changed, the rock or you? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I remember when I was an adult, I went back to my secondary school, and I felt like a giant in a model village.
When
I was 10 and I went there on my first day, it all looked so big and daunting. And I went back when I was about 17, 18, I'm like, it all looks very tiny. What was I ever scared of? And I don't think the sea eroded that. I think that was me that changed.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought of another one actually. Wood pigeons, coo, that sound. We used to go to still do, but since I was very young, we used to go to Hailing Island. Have you been, girls?
Loads, yeah.
If you go to the farm shop and get their jacket potatoes. They're the best jacket potatoes in the world ever. I get orders for them at work. Anyway, and you'd hear wood pigeons going coo, and then the door was squeaky. So when the door was open, it would go.
How does the wood pigeon go, Neil?
What's that?
How does the wood pigeon go?
They go coo. Well, they do, right? They do, and you know it. You're teasing me, but every time I hear that, it can take me right back to that sort of joyful feeling of being at the caravan and being away on holiday. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. So here's another one then. Yeah. Okay. So I've got 2 more, right? So because I think they'll be really good. So write down how your magical inner child can feel supported by you.
Oh, okay. I'm going to scribble.
I'm drawn to that line in the Robbie Williams song, and through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. Angels. So it would be being an angel to your inner child. which would be acceptance, approval, appreciation, allowance.
It's protection, isn't it?
I would say not protection in a sense of security guard sort of protection. It's more of a self-safety thing. Or you encourage that child to feel safe within themselves, and because it's a part of you, you feel safe within yourself because you're allowing yourself to feel safe within yourself because you've accepted the bit that doesn't feel unsafe as an adult.
That's spiritually, isn't it? It's a bit kind of spiritually, isn't it, that you're, in a way, I suppose.
I guess, if you want to call it that. Not in a weird sort of woo-woo way. I'm talking more psychologically, but you can argue spiritual. Why not? Well, you could argue everything spiritual, depending on what you believe.
Peace, isn't it? It's peace. It's peace. When you talk about it, it feels peaceful to me.
Yes. Yeah, because you're not in battle with a part of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if there's a part of yourself that you're trying
Serenity,
to push away
peace.
and trying to reject, you're at war with yourself. Most people that cause trouble aren't at war with the world. They're at war with themselves.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Some more than others if we watch the news. Kira, what have you got?
Okay, so...
Oh, we can't see that. You're going to have to share.
Okay, so one thing... So whenever I feel that I have failed, the one thing that brings back my inner child, like my magical child, is like when I have a hug with my mum. Like that for me is my safety. That is for me when I feel that I have failed. The person I turn to is my mum all the time. And I know if I get a hug from her, I know everything's okay. And it goes back to my childhood when I was told I couldn't do anything. The person that I hugged the most was my mum. And I think for me, whenever I hug my mum, my inner child, my older child, my inner child comes in and goes, do you know what? Stop doubting yourself. You're okay. And that happens when I have a hug with my mum, like that. That brings back,
and that's lovely. And it does, and as we said, it doesn't matter what it is. What's important is that it works. Chrissy Richards has got an opinion. My inner child is colouring my Easter colouring book. 78 years. I love colouring, but why not? But
why not? Yeah,
and that's a very mindful thing to do. Adult colouring books. That's a very mindful thing to do.
You get loads of them, don't you? But also, rather than your mum hugging you, have you tried hugging yourself?
I haven't, but I can do. I will try that.
Because it works. It works.
While we're talking about psychology things, this is a really good book. Hold this up. Paul McKenna, Power Manifesting.
Okay, I get that. Okay.
And he talks about a technique called havening. You're familiar with this, Claire?
Yeah.
And what you do, you stroke the side of your arms like this.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens? Do you want the simple version or do you want the real geek out science version? Which would you like?
Simple, please, Neil.
Paul McKenna was doing these NLP interventions on people, and it could be just as simple. For example, if he wanted you to feel comfort, Kira, he would ask you, imagine the last time you felt comfort. You'd have said your mum. He would have asked you to go back to that memory, see it through your own eyes as if it's happening again. Now feel what you feel, hear what you heard, and then those feelings will start to come up within you. And at the peak of those feelings, he'd have you squeeze your thumb and forefinger together, and that's called an anchor in NLP. And then when you do that anchor, you can get those feelings back no matter what's going on. So it's kind of, in this case, peace on demand. And he was finding that there were some things that no matter what clever psychological algorithm he used, it wasn't working. And he discovered there was a physical component, and it was to do with basically, I've got to get a bit geeky here, sorry. Neural pathways in the brain. The messages communicate by jumping from one to another, like the synapses, the neurons. Do you remember in science there were those two metal balls at school, and the teacher would make the spark jump between them? No. It's a bit like that. You can YouTube it, Kira. It's really quite old science nowadays. We used to love it because it looked dangerous. Is he going to blow it up next? He didn't, unfortunately. But the door to the neural pathway gets jammed open because of trauma. So rather than the message jumping, being accepted by the neural receiver, by the synapse or whatever, it can't be accepted and passed on. It kind of just the door's permanently open. So whenever there's a trigger, like a car backfiring, if someone's got PTSD, that'll take them straight back to the war. Okay. And the same feelings will come up again and again and again. And that is essentially post-traumatic stress disorder. And they found that it wasn't working, these things. But there was a guy called Ronald Rudin, and he was a rare breed. He was a medical doctor, but he was also into holistic ideas too. And he discovered how to essentially shut that door of the neural pathway. So, and how that would manifest was the car could backfire, but it wouldn't be any more emotionally painful than thinking, shall I have beans on toast for dinner or a chicken pie? All the emotional sting went out of it. And it was done in a somatic way by stroking the sides, which is how a mother calms a child, of your arms like this. And that creates delta waves, which are a very healing frequency in the brain. And that helps remove that synaptic block, so the door isn't permanently jammed open and you're not re-traumatized all the time. That's havening. Was that simple enough, or was that
Yes. Thank you. No, thank you. No, I understand now. Thank you.
Good. Sorry, I got very geeky there. Sorry.
Okay, no, don't worry. No, don't worry. And actually, it was really strange because on Monday we had a bomb scare in Epsom on Monday morning.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
From my home. Yeah, I was evacuated from my flat by a policeman, and I was terrified. I was like, "Oh my God, I live so close to like where this thing is." And I literally just felt like running away because that was my natural defense. And I was like, right, where can I go to? Where can I run to? And I literally felt I had to literally run away. Like I was like, right, I have to get away. I have to go away. And I think for me, because I was bullied a lot as a kid, because I was different, because of my disability, my natural defense is always run away from the situation that I'm in. That I've always done that. I've walked away or I've run away.
Flight or freeze.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, I think now as an adult, I kind of go, right, instead of running, I'm going to face it, and I'm going to try and find a way to face it. And now I'm like, right, go and do something nice, go and get a piece of cake, go and have a cup of tea, go and find something nice to do. And actually that works for me now a bit better, rather
which
than
is a nurturing adult. It's a nurturing adult way of doing it. But to be fair to you, if there was a bomb, I'd run away.
Yeah, I was pretty scared. I was like, I'm not coming back home.
I wouldn't be like, there's a bomb, I'm going to face it. No.
Yeah.
I know. They keep finding them, don't they? These World War II bombs. So
we've got some more comments here. We've got on a really interesting tangent, haven't we, today?
Yeah, we have.
Chrissy Richards, my most peaceful experience I felt was in Turkey when 50 years we went up Termessos, where there was Roman ruins of crypts and wells, etc. And I felt I was with God. Very nice. There we go. Mark Simons says, I've tried havening. It was a good experience. I've tried self-Reiki as well, which is beneficial. This is all the energetic side of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in the Paul McKenna book, I mean, manifesting itself is quite a metaphysical word, but it's very sciencey the way he's done it. It's kind of the science of it rather than the
practical
side of it.
So there's one last question. You can take this away with you, and you can, because you might want to think about it. So I think particularly for you, is that ask your inner child what your talents are and write a huge list.
Do you know what?
Brilliant.
I'm going to do that.
That's a brilliant one for you, because especially for that 10-year-old, and do it from the 10-year-old.
Okay.
Not the adult, because this is the inner child. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Okay. I'm scribbling.
See, when I perform, when I'm doing stand up, if my inner child is there, it makes me better. That's why I never want to get rid of it, because it's cheeky. It's
Carlos
playful.
is your inner child.
I don't know what you're talking about, Claire. Can you see the screen? Yeah. Sorry, that's a private joke between me and Claire. She knows exactly what that means.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But having that element of playfulness is a wonderful thing. So I think the takeaway when we're talking about all these therapies, it's not about fighting against it. It's not about transcending it, which is a big word that people use and they don't really know what it means. It's just about embracing it and healing comes from embracing and looking at it from an adult point of view, while honoring the feelings of the inner child. Because
but some of it
if
is,
my
well,
daughter came to me distressed, I would embrace her. I wouldn't send her away and say, man up. Well, why should it be any different for us, right?
Yeah, and also, I mean, some of it is about helping the inner child to feel safe as well. You know, to really feel safe because they've gone through a sad family or a toxic family, or they've lost their parents early, or you know, whatever it may be. I mean, it could be hundreds of things, but it's about them feeling safe. And if once they start to feel safe, you can move up your ages, and then till you get to adult, and then you feel free from it all.
But you have to start with the youngest, yeah?
Well, I start where they start. So, and then we might go back a little bit. But generally, when we start, I've kind of got an age in my head, and when they're talking, and I'll ask them what their age is, and generally I'm about right. I might say they'll say age 7 or something, and I might go, I thought 8.
Is wherever that well-being hose got kinked in our growing up stage, that's where we default to back in stress. When we go into stress, we default back to that age. I remember going through a very stressful period, and I was acting certainly nowhere near my age, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And the answer is, the front part of the brain was shut down, as it does during stress. The old prefrontal cortex, my amygdala, were absolutely, that's the emotional sensor, we're firing off all kinds of emotionally based messages, and you can't think straight. You really can't. So you have to calm that down and get the adult back online, but the compassionate adult, not the adult that says, you shouldn't be, don't cry and all that sort of stuff. What you got, Kira?
No.
Okay. So I'm doing this from the head of a 10-year-old who's just being diagnosed with a learning disability, okay?
Yeah.
So I can love and I can have feelings. I have a human right. I can learn new things. I can achieve new things. I can communicate. I can achieve anything I want to achieve. I can sing. I can dance. I have talent and I can perform.
There you go.
Well, I bet you didn't expect to be on the radio, did you?
Who? Kira.
No, I am. And I am now. Thank you, Neil.
Exactly. Just to back up your point that you can learn new things. Yes. So, Claire, if people want to get in touch with you, it's counsellingwithcancer.co.uk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at Insta, Counselling with Cancer, and you say loads of useful messages on there, because I suppose as your work evolves and you have a conversation, you can say to your assistant, right, that needs to go on. So it's a constantly evolving body of work, clearly. And obviously a very, very valuable resource. So that's how people can get in touch with you, Claire.
I mean, my Counselling with Cancer page is obviously more to do with cancer, but there's obviously from today you can see that I do various different things as well. So, but contact me through the Counselling with Cancer. It's the easiest way, really, because everything is Counselling with Cancer. When I started, when I kind of had to build a website and kind of start getting out there a bit more, because I was in the cancer, that's what I was doing at that time. And I said to my friends, what am I going to call myself? And we just went, Counselling with Cancer. And these things just stick, don't they? And and I could change the name, but then the algorithms know me now, so it's just it's too much hard work.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's been lovely talking to you again, Claire. Come back and see us, and let me know when the day that you're putting on is happening, and we get you back on the Midday Show for half an hour or something, and we do a little launch for that. Later this year, so do let me know.
And come on my podcast. You've got a podcast invite too.
Yeah, do please. I'd love to come on your podcast, and we can talk about. We don't have to talk about cancer. We can talk about other things as well.
Okay,
and,
you've got an invite.
Do get in touch with me, or get Neil to ping my phone number over to you.
Thank you. I want 20% of any royalties. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Take care. Am I going now? I don't know what's going on.
We're actually, it's 1 o'clock. We're
1 o'clock. Okay.
So,
thanks for having me, and it's really lovely to meet you. And have a happy Easter, won't you?
Thank you. You too, Claire. Enjoy your downtime. And just before you go, and this will mean nothing to anyone apart from Claire, I'll meet you in room 404 later on, baby. you know. Happy holidays. Happy
It
holidays.
makes me laugh every time he
From
does
your
that voice.
favourite holiday rep, Carlos, the love god.
Okay, tell Carlos I'll be round. We keep saying we'll meet up. We'll have to get a date in the diary now, otherwise it'll be another year before we see each
What,
other
with me or
face
with
to face.
Carlos, or both?
A meal with Carlos, with both. Yeah.
Yeah, we get together. We'll have a bite to eat. We'll definitely do that at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Much love,
Let's
Claire.
get a
Thanks
date.
very much.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
There we go. What a lovely lady. Thank you.
She was amazing.
And a little bit of networking went on there as well. Very quickly on Friday, the Screen Queen, Chantal Rickards, is going to be on, telling you all the good stuff to watch on telly. There is loads. Russ is going to be here. The King of the Cravat, Phil Dave, going to be here. I'll be back next Monday. You're going to come present with me again sometime, Kira?
Yes, if you want me back, I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll have you again. You'll do. It's been lovely. Thank you very much.
And for
it third time on the radio? You're doing exceptionally well. Really, really well.
Yes. Thank you.
If you'd like to listen to Kira's podcast, tinyurl.com/Kira podcast. Hang on, I'll just check that. I changed it the other day, didn't I?
Yes.
Let me just check that.
Or if anybody wants to Google Pink Sparkle Podcast, you'll find it.
Yeah, that'll do. I was going to check that link. Hold on.
Okay.
Only because I hashed it up. Is that right? Where does that take us? Yeah, actually, no, that's right. It takes us to the live podcast event, but that doesn't matter because there's also a link to the podcast there. So that works absolutely perfectly, even though the event has passed now. Brilliant. Kira Lawrence, thank you so much for being on.
See you
Good
soon.
afternoon.
Happy Easter.
All right, take care. Good afternoon. And that's it from me. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for being here on the Midday Show. Russ and the gang will see you Friday. And I bid you a very good afternoon. Take care. Good afternoon.